I would like to welcome the listeners first to the era of AI with Rash. And this is where we give real frameworks and resources around how to use AI in design, tech, and beyond. And we do so by having real conversations with individuals who are already working around AI in the industry. So today we have Gabriel Roque. Thank you so much, Gabriel, for joining. He is the head of design at ILEA and also a design ops specialist. So I'm really happy to have you here today.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. Yeah, so nice to be here.
A little bit of background. We were actually both speakers in one of the AI and design event, and I remember finishing my speech and then like seeing your speech the whole from the start to the end, and I was really intrigued by the process and how intricate the details that you gave about your AI project. So that was really interesting for me. And that's going to add a lot of value to our listeners as well. So we can get started onto that. But before that, I would like you to introduce yourself a little bit. Tell us about how your journey has been, what are the kind of industries you've worked in, for us to have a background.
All right, a little bit about myself. As I said, I work as head of design. I'm also a design ops specialist. Right now, I'm based in Madrid, but I actually was born in Portugal and raised in Brazil. Um, for the past years, I've been leading design projects here in Europe, but most of my career I work on America Latina in projects for USA and Latin. I started my career working as a graphic designer and started freelancing. That was like 12 years ago, freelancing for web design. And that's how I started to study UX design and got interested on this subject, and that's how I started this career, and the rest was just history. And that what got me here today to be speaking to you, because I really found um, what I really wanted to do for living in graphics design. I think I was happy doing the visuals part, but when I started to design websites, then I saw that I could create digital products. I think that was the missing part for me to start a career that I really wanted to invest my time on it.
Interesting. You've had like a nice journey from graphics to visuals to designing products and actually launching them. So, are there any recent achievements that you're proud of or something that like highlights?
Yeah, I've worked on some AI projects recently. One of those projects that I'm very proud of, and actually was the reason that we met. That was the reason that I was giving that talk in Barcelona.
The Marvin one,
Was
yeah?
the Marvin project? Yes, that project won a prize this year, the Think Innovation Award, 2025. It's a AI-driven project that combines design and storytelling and tech. That project, it's a project that I am very proud of. Yeah,
Yes, I remember. I think that's what you did the presentation on as well, right?
yeah, that's true.
Okay. So, can you take us through the journey of how you made it happen? What were the kind of tools that you used? What was the process like? If you can give us like an insight into it.
Yes, I was not part of the project originally. It was created on 2023 by a design team and the HR department of the company. It was a innovation discovery project led by the HR department. They had a problem on the company because they have a KPI there for the employees. They have these individual development plans, and the employees, they were simply not doing it. They have to make this plan for their careers, and this KPI was very low. It was, I think, 27%, and the goal was 80% of the company. So they had this problem to solve, and they wanted to create some kind of product or tool, and they didn't know what to do. So they asked the design team to perform this product discovery to find a solution for that. And they created this career coach, this AI tool that they got to this solution where you have this AI coach on Slack where the employee can talk to it. The AI coach know everything about you and can help the employee to design their career path inside of the company, knowing all the resources available in terms of courses, in terms of who they can schedule one-on-one mentorships, leaders, and etc. So with that, they could save a lot of time and they could have this, let's say, a scratch of a plan to go to a leader and then approve it with that leader faster than before. And it was a very successful project. They raised the these individual development plans from 27 to I think 93% of the company.
Okay,
And
that's huge numbers.
yeah, so what happened was they got this innovation think innovation prize last year for that. It was amazing. And this year they needed something new
Hmm.
to improve, to evolve the project, and they didn't know where to start. That's when they called me to participate now of the phase two of the project. And I was very happy because the project was amazing. I wanted to be part of it, and I accepted the challenge. And of course, knowing that I could have the chance to get a prize at the end, to be one of the finalists in the end. Of course, for my career, I thought it was a very nice challenge for me as well. So I accepted. And what I did was this year was I helped them to find a way to make this coach now a mascot of the company, and I made this coach Marvin become um, like a character where people talk to and have more attachment.
I agree because, like a normal chat bot, if you're just talking, it just gets really boring to interact with that. I
Yeah.
think on even on Slack, it would be like a chat bot answers, right? Which is pre put together. So you kind of put that in life, is what you're mentioning.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. So people used to talk to Marvin just by text. And Marvin had a little logo, a very silly logo that was a little robot face. So my idea was to evolve this little robot face that everyone saw every time they entered the chat and make it more adorable, like a Pixar character, make it 3D and make it animated with a voice, so people could have, like, for example, introduction videos with Marvin talking to them, and have intern marketing from HR with announcements from HR with Marvin talking. So it became a marketing character where everyone of the company could talk to as like a AI friend, you know. So it made more popular between people.
Makes sense. So it sounds like it must have reduced so many conversations which are time consuming, and getting straight answers from it would have been so efficient. And that must have benefited the new joiners to understand more about the company and the processes with the little questions.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So one of the things that happens is some companies, it's not that I'm criticizing, but it's just my approach. I think some companies try to make AI characters or personas mimic humans, and I think people know they're talking to an AI, so you're not fooling anyone, in my opinion. So, for example, if you try to make it look like a person, you're never gonna get there, in my opinion. And if you make it talk and look like a person, I think maybe you're not getting to the point of what you should be doing. Like the point of Marvin, for example, was to coach people to get to their career paths, for example. So it would be a little distracting to have a character trying to be a person, for example. So
Mhm.
I tried to think of a concept where Marvin would be very well designed to be a robot, and people would see a robot when they talk to it, and we would not hide the fact that the voice was a robotic voice. The way it talks, it's a little robotic, but it's a little charming. So one of the biggest um, benchmarkings that we had was Wall-E, the Pixar movie.
Oh,
Because yeah, we wanted to be cute, and at the same time, you never forget it's a robot that you're talking to. It's an AI. So yeah,
I think that's really thoughtful. Transparency with users is it's really important when you're providing AI to your users. So I really like how you made it transparent that it is a bot. And I think it talks a lot about the designer mindset, which is what I would like you to deep dive on a little bit with us.
yeah. Um, I like to use the IBM Ethics Principles for AI. Um, I think it's very important to remind that they have those three pillars where you need to be transparent about everything, so the user is it's on control always. You need to enhance uh, people intelligence with the AI, not to replace it. This is very important. And you need to create a product where people can work together with the AI, not to use it to make something by itself. Like it's a collaboration tool. So it's important to keep it in mind, like the final outcome of what you're doing. I just would like to differentiate this. It doesn't matter if the project's for an AI product or not. My methodology uses AI. That's what I just wanted to be clear. So in this project, AI project, I use an AI method because I have AI tools on every step. So it's divided on three phases. The first phase, I like to call it training, where I use AI to analyze the research data. I summarize what I have. For example, on a project like this, I had to interview a lot of people. So I use the data the AI to summarize this data from the interviews, for example. So it saves a lot of time and to help me to uncover insights. So what I do is to approve uh, what the AI gives me as an outcome from those insights. It saves a lot of time again. The second step from this methodology is the execution. The execution, I call it like the co-creating moment where I use AI tools. And when I say this, they are not, they are very well known. They are not different tools from usual designers know. Like, for example, Figma has it. Lovable, for example, you can use it to create wireframes, to create the first draft of the copy and visual concepts. So you can save time on this first draft while keeping a strong creative direction from the human side. That's why I call it co-creating.
So do you make like multiple design iterations and then do like a A/B testing to decide? Because Lovable makes your time really efficient. So do you make multiple design iterations and it helps you select which one's the best?
Yes. But just to be clear, I still, this is just my opinion, of course. I know many people use it, especially project managers use it for going directly to developers, and it depends on the size of the company, your project, if you are a startup or not. I'm talking just about my case. I don't use it for a final design, never. I use it for the first draft, and I use A, B, C, D, many versions of what Lovable does just for my draft. The final
Hmm.
design is always mine, but this is just because this is my case, because I have very high standards in terms of design. I started as a graphic designer, so it's very hard to Lovable to do something that I would be proud of. So I use it as just a first draft. So then I say, okay, thank you, AI. I take it from here, and then I do the rest. That's that's what happens.
I
But
totally agree.
yeah,
I totally agree. So that's exactly what I do in my process as well. And I hear so many product managers and project managers using that just as a core to go straight into coding. But I believe that the step of design in the middle, it's so important for us to ensure that users are not just getting the static screens from the AI tools that we're using to iterate, but it's having us as like the advocate for users to ensure that it makes sense, that it's easy to use, and obviously it's ethical and it aligns with the brand identity as well. So I think that's a major chunk that designers do. But like moving on to so you have mentioned training and execution, and in execution we were on to the next step.
and the final step, it's called iteration. The iterations where we refine the outputs through feedback, testing, and handoff for improvements. This is very similar to product discovery process, but using AI as tools to deliver faster. I did not is create this. To be clear, this is the Stingray framework that I use from Board of Innovation. I just changed a little bit the second step for myself. They don't call it execution. I change a little bit the way they do it, the second step, but I did not create a framework. Just I don't want to take credit for it from
We
it.
can put the link for the listeners as well, and they'll have like an insight to get to know how you personalized that framework for yourself as well. So I
Yes,
think we
yes,
can put that link in.
yeah. So, and I believe they have, this is again my opinion, they have the best approach for design projects in terms of methodology right now. I see a lot of frameworks. People are trying to keep the pace of the new tools and trying to create new methodologies, and everyone trying to create the new product discovery name for things. But I think the Board of Innovation is the best one yet that I saw. That's why I started to create my own version of it, and I like to recommend to people this one.
Makes sense. I agree. There's like a lot in the market. Once you find the one which works out really well, it's really efficient to go about it, personalizing it, and actually incorporating that in your team as well.
Yeah.
And in these three layers that you mentioned, it's pretty streamlined. It shows like a nice structure and how intentional creativity can be when AI is being integrated. I do want to know a few more tools that you used in the iteration, the last final stage that you mentioned for testing.
For testing, Um, AI tools that I use for testing. I like to use Google Meets have a lot of AI tools that I really like. The transcript, it's very useful for performing a user testing. And for example, I have a heavy accent in English and in Spanish, so I'm not judging. But we live on a very new society where people work on projects with different cultures, different backgrounds. So sometimes people will have a struggle to understand my accent, and sometimes I will struggle to understand their accents. I think it's completely normal. Um, and I believe that the subtitles from Google Meets, for example, the live subtitles, it's a wonder because it helps to reduce the noise for people to better understand each other. And on user testing, this is amazing because it makes people feel more comfortable with you, and you want that. Um, the transcript after the meeting's over, it's amazing as well because Google sends to your mail everything that was that you talked about written and a summary that helps a lot. I don't like to put that on Gemini, to be frank. I use a mix of Gemini and ChatGPT to get insights from the transcript. I think that ChatGPT get better insights than Gemini when I compare them. ChatGPT, I don't know why it's a little more empathy to get little nuances than Gemini. Gemini is like a, I don't know, a more like a serious person that gets everything like
Very
inside of the
structured.
box. I don't know why. It's just a feeling. And I think ChatGPT, it's a little more, I don't know, it gets more nuances, in my opinion. After this, I like to use Figma Slides. It's very good for presentations, and Figma Slides have a AI feature that it's amazing because many times I have to do presentations in other languages that is not my native language. So if I have to do it fast, as I said, I like for the first draft to use AI for the copy. It's not very often that I have a copywriter right away to help me with the to review the text or to create the first version of the storytelling. So I use AI to help me to translate very fast and to review the storytelling. At least it's something that is good enough to present to a stakeholder, and I will not be ashamed of it. So I like to use this feature from Figma Slides. So those are the tools that I like to use. Yeah.
That's really interesting. I do want to ask a follow-up question because I'm curious how I don't know about this yet. So you mentioned on Google Meet you have AI because currently I use tactile AI, which is what I'm able to connect with my Google Meet, and it gives me the transcriptions as well as like a summary in the end. So is it a new feature Google Meet has of its own?
Yeah, I'm talking a lot about Google because at ILEA we have the Google account they pay, where we try to use all the tools that Google provides for Google Workspace. So we have all the features from Google AI. So I try to use it so I don't have to ask the company for new subscriptions. But yeah, for other tools that I use, that I mentioned from that is not Figma and ChatGPT, you gave a better tip than I have to give. To be frank, I'm more curious to ask you about this because I think you have
Of
a better
course.
tip than I for this.
Of course.
Do you have another tip?
On user
I would love
testing.
to hear. Yeah.
So currently, I've been using few of these tools. The lack that is there is it's not real human beings. It's the AI making a prediction, but that's enough information for me to know and to alter my designs for further launch. And once the launch is there, then you can test with real users how it's going to work. So I think the AI tools where the AI is helping you to test, they're very efficient to do the alterations before the launch. But after the launch, I highly believe it's really important to get the human insights because they're the ones who are going to be using it. So that's my insight on it.
Wow, very good. I usually have maze on my projects, and I just use that feature where you create the prototype, you send to some users, and you get the report. I never thought of. I didn't even know they had AI option. I don't use it. I'm not a heavy user of maze, so that's a nice tip.
We have covered enough of the workflows around Marvin and your day-to-day use of frameworks, the principles that you have taken in consideration while working on an AI product. I think it's a very good example that you have given of using AI while making AI. And moving forward, I do want to know your opinion of how do you see your role changing? Like, do you think it's going to be called something else in the future?
Yeah, giving it a name for it, it's it's a challenge. But yeah, I see a role. I think about that a lot. Actually, I would try to think of I try to think of a name. Um, I think the name should be something. I don't know. I'm inventing this, but I think it's gonna be something like a design intelligence lead, something like this. uh, because I believe in the future we are evolving to something like this, where you will have someone that will bridge the design and AI and strategy to create products. Um, I think people will not just be focused on giving a comment and AI just do the rest by itself, but I think our role will be deeply human. Like we'll have a role where we will express our creativity, our emotions, our empathy, our human touch. I will call it soul, but I'm not trying to be spiritual about it. A human soul. It's a poetic way to say that I think the human intelligence here, it's what I'm calling this kind of intelligence here, our soul we will put, because I believe that when you just give a command to AI, it will give you something amazing at first, but it's soulless. I don't know if you feel that way.
I get it.
Y- do you have this feeling? I don't know if you have this feeling. You at first you feel, wow, what amazing outcome. It was so fast, it looks so great, but when you really look at it and you reflect a little, it's a little boring, not original exactly. You sleep on it, you look at it again the next day, something's missing. I think it's
Yeah.
the originality. I think it's something like,
The human
uh,
superpower. Do you remember me
yes.
mentioning that in the talk?
Yes, it's your talk. I think your talk it's very aligned with this. I think that's why I wanted to know if you agree with that, because I think that's where we are leading to find our role in the
Correct.
future, the human intelligence, and we will be those designers,
Yes.
because not everyone can do it as a professional. Not everyone wants to do that as a profession, I think.
And I really like the word human intelligence. And that really translates to the human superhuman powers. For the listeners, I'll give you some background. So, in the talk where both Gabriel and I were speakers at PayFit office, Barcelona, in the talk, I heavily talked about this topic, which you just mentioned, Gabriel, where superhuman power is so powerful and so needed, especially in design and tech, because in the end of the day, the end users are humans. So we need to give them something that they can relate on, things like nostalgia, like, the kind of ice cream I used to have when I was a child, or the kind of bell the cart used to ring, that is stored in my memory. So like now when the same bell rings, I will remember that from my childhood. So the essence of nostalgia or cultural nuance, like, different continents, different countries have a different set of rules, cultural rules. So like I think these kind of understanding only human beings have, and that's like the human superpowers that we translate and give through our products in so many senses. Like I feel like that sensory design is so important. But I made this joke in our talk, if you remember, that I feel like AI is not going to give birth anytime soon. Only humans can. So the relatability can only be there on that level. Like,
Anytime soon.
at least that's there. But speaking about,
That's something that I don't want to imagine happening. AI giving birth.
we're not there yet.
Okay.
Like I spoke so
Not yet.
confidently in the talk saying that I am so sure this is never going to happen, but yet is something I added because AI is moving as fast as the rate of light and we don't know what's coming in. All we know is we need to be prepared. And I think having these conversations like this helps us to do that. But like coming back to the topic, the word superhuman powers, what does this professional need to sharpen or chisel in terms of soft skills, in terms of hard skills? What do you think that they need to ensure that they have their in their toolkit to survive confidently in the era of AI?
Yeah. Um, we are evolving to merge. So when it comes to skills like technical skills, I think we will need to master AI collaboration workflows like the board of innovation that I was talking about, for example. Um, AI will provide us data, so decision making will be very important. Again, humans making decisions in collaboration with AI, because we will have a role to guide the decisions and be strategic about it. So I think soft skills are going to be very important on this matter to have empathy, and to have to know how to get nuances from human to human. Yeah, I think hard skills are going to be important. Yes, tools are coming all the time. I think uh, we will get to a point that if you are not following the trends, following the information, maybe you are gonna be left behind. But I don't think I don't think this is going to be the most important skill in the future. We are in a weird moment where we have all these tools that are in the market right now, but they are all leading to a point, in my opinion, where they will all do something very similar, that you will give a command and they do the rest. And I think maybe in a moment there will be a new solution where, hey, what about you just use my solution that mix all the AIs in just one place? I think someone will do that. If not, someone is doing that already. So maybe the hard skills will be important because it's always important to know to use some tool, but maybe it's not going to be a priority because we are automating things so fast that uh, maybe this is not going to be the main part of our roles in the future, you know? So I think soft skills, it's the way to go. maybe not on the short future, but in the mid future to the long term, I think it's going to be the most important part of what we do. I would add curiosity.
Mhm.
Um, I think people are a little lazy right now because they have all the answers from AI, and they are not very curious to know the reasons why. Just want the answers and that's it. Curiosity is going to be very important. They just get one line of answer and they don't have a follow-up question. I think this is very, very bad. I think people should have follow-up questions to AI and investigate more. This is a very powerful tool to learn curiosity. And the second one, storytelling, because AI it's very good to explain things, but again, the human touch, give a soul to what you are doing. An AI can adapt and mimic a person telling a story, but only a human know how to entertain another human or to make another human feel empathy for the story that is being told. So I think storytelling is going to be a very important part of the soft skill as well.
I really liked your explanation for curiosity because I agree with you. I feel like slowly we're going to stop using our brains. That's when the word curiosity and the meaning to it, which is using your brain in more ways, comes in. If we go to the gym for our body workout, we need a gym for our brain as well. So it's consistent and building muscles in the brain. So I totally, totally agree with you on this one. And I think we have summed up the whole workflows really well around design and AI. So I think thank you so much for this insight regarding in work 9 to 5 workflows. But I am curious outside 9 to 5, have you found any exciting tools that you're using that changes your life in a way or something interesting that you would want to give to the listeners that you're doing?
Uh, for work or for fun?
Anything outside work, outside 9 to 5.
Well, I like to use AI also for personal projects. I'm not just a designer. Um, I'm I do as a hobby, but I like to write fantasy fantasy books. So I I use AI because I'm not a very good I'm not very good at digital painting. I can draw. I never had the time, to be frank, to learn digital
Mm-hmm.
painting. It's one of my goals one day. So I like to use Dolly and use Midjourney to help me finalize some artwork for my book, and it's actually pretty good to do that. Again,
Hmm.
AI collaboration, not AI creation. You do the first drafts, and you use the AI to help you to do the part that you are not very for example, my case, not very good at, but you give all the instructions with your vision, for example. I think that's very interesting because I get amazing outcomes from Midjourney, for example. So it's a very good tool. And for people who can't use Midjourney because there is a learning curve,
Okay.
Dolly, it's very good. It's from
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT. They are almost at the same level for some um, more simple outcomes if you want to give it a try. So I recommend for people who wants to do as a hobby, as I do. It's my recommendation.
That's super interesting. When your book comes out, do let me know as well.
All right.
So, we have discussed how overwhelming AI can be. Like, there were some tools that I don't know that you were mentioning, that there are some tools that you got to know that I was mentioning. Similarly, how overwhelming it can be Considering how things are changing so fast, what would be like a call of action or mindset change or like habit you would want to suggest to the listeners to follow from today to ensure that they're confidently staying up to date with the era of AI?
Yeah. Something that I notice is that we hear very often people saying that sentence, is AI going to take my jobs? What is the future of our careers? Layoffs because of AI and etc. And I think it's a fair point. It's kind of happening right now. But when it comes to being afraid of AI, the tool, and not the what's happening on the market, the companies that are making bad decisions, in my opinion, in terms of layoff. When it comes to the AI tool, for example, I see that a lot. You see a new tool on a LinkedIn post, for example. Uh, Saying this new feature that you just give a prompt and it does a whole perfect video just like a movie. Look this new tool. You go to the comment section, people are saying we are doomed. People say, okay, now I give up on my job. Oh my God, this is they are doing everything now. There are always those comments. We are in this moment that I think that people that comment like this, they're kind of afraid of those tools, and there are some myths about AI because people don't test those tools. They just see the marketing video. They just see people talking about the tool, but they don't try those tools. So they don't really know how it is. uh, as a person that really try everything that uh, it's out there, and when I see one of those tools, the first thing that I do is go to the trial version and try it myself. uh, it's it's amazing, but it's not all that. For example, when you see those amazing videos, that I think the videos is the things that people are more impressed about when they see an AI tool in working. For example, when you try to make a video using an AI tool like Google Vel Free, there are a bunch of amazing videos made by Google Vel Free. They're like, for example, a Bible character making a selfie video. It's a very realistic video, like Moses making an iPhone video, for example. You can make that using Google Vel Free. It's a funny video. It's a viral video, and people say, "Wow, AI do everything now. The movie industry it's doomed," for example. But when you get to the Google Vel Free and you try to make a video, it's not easy, and it's very expensive. And after a long time trying to make a video, do you know how many seconds do you really make? 5 seconds. I took like an hour to make 5 seconds, and the video was not that good.
Mhm. Skills, right? So if you have found a new AI tool that you really need to put in that effort and time to actually understand it, use it, and not be afraid of it.
Yes, AI tools are not about just one prompt many of the times. And what you see when you see a promotional video, it took a lot of effort to get there. And sometimes you take a lot of time and the outcome is horrible and you have to iterate many times to get to a good result. So we are not there yet. It's not a magical tool. It's a good tool. It's a fast tool, but the use cases sometimes they are very specific. They are not for everything. So I think the mindset that I could uh, that I could tell people that it's very important is try yourselves, get to know things before you are afraid. Because if you don't, you will be one of those people that are judging the book by its cover. You know, read the book, then you get your opinion.
I totally agree with you. Giving it time to understand and learn is so important before you get scared of it. And that's one suggestion I personally give to the listeners, that at least block like 2 hours in a week where you want to try these kind of new tools and get familiar with them, see if it lives up to the expectations that it is promising. If not, try more things. But like when it comes to not fear the AI tools, but actually try them, use them to stay up to date with them for sure. Very important.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll proceed to the last question, which would be an optional question for you. So you can choose to answer, choose not to answer as well. And the question would be, imagine you have a time machine and you go back to yourself when you were 12 years old. And there's one or two things you have to tell to your 12-year-old self about a professional achievement or a personal achievement or something that the 12-year-old Gabriel would be really surprised to know or shocked to know what it would be.
Can't tell myself to buy one Bitcoin to be rich, right? Because back then
You can
it
add
was very
you can
cheap.
add a you can add a little tip by the end of it.
Okay. All right. Two things that I could tell myself. I'm just trying to reflect on it. Two things that I could tell myself. Really, I'm gonna be very, very open here. When I was 12 years old, I had a dream to start a family and to live in Portugal, where I was born. I was living in Brazil, but I wanted to get back to Portugal to be next to my family there and be working on a career that I really loved. Because when I was younger, I saw my father and my mother struggling a lot to give me a good life. And I wanted to have a career where I could have like a steady life, where I could grow on this career and could provide a better future for my children. What I could tell myself is that right now I'm on my way to get there. I'm in Spain, very next to Portugal, so kind of almost there. And I love what I do. I really know what I want to do for a career. That's a fact. And just to be speaking to you here on a podcast, I met you on a talk in Barcelona. This is for me, it's something that I'm very proud to do because it means that I'm being part of a community because I'm doing something that I love to do. So I think I'm on my path to get where I wanted to be. So I'm working on what I wanted to achieve. That's what I would tell myself, I think. Thanks. Can I ask you the same, or
You
you
can.
have the option to say no as well?
So if you're asking me, I think uh, there's like a lot of things I would tell my 12-year-old self. Um, the first one being, I think I would tell her two things specifically. The first one being, we made it to a creative career because I was always a creative person, I think, ever since I was born. And the second thing, I would really tell her that I made it to Barcelona because for some reason, at the age of 10, I just decided that I want to be in Barcelona one day to live. That was one of the biggest thing that I just wished for as a child. And then it happened, like, but obviously backs by a lot of my hard work, a lot of interesting ups and downs, but I made it. And I think I have lived beautiful 3.5, 4 years in Spain that I'm satisfied with. So I will like really let her know that we're living there. Yeah.
Have you ever thought about what would you think about yourself if you saw yourself, for example, on that talk that we gave on that event, when you were on stage, have you thought if my if my if my version, I don't know, my 20 years old version saw myself right now doing that, what would I think? I would never imagine when I was younger that I would do something. I was afraid of talking in public, for example. And there I
I,
was doing that.
I kind of agree with you. That talk was my one step closer to a TED talk one day. And I really enjoy public speaking now. And I think that's what I see for my future as well, somewhere. So I have not thought about that question until you asked me. But if you're asking me, I think my childhood self would not believe that I gave a talk in front of so many people and made it happen, you know?
And you made, and I still remember that you made everyone stand up. But it was amazing because you made that dynamics where you made people stand up and move. It was very, very entertaining. I really
Little
liked.
bit of crowd work, you know, is what was needed to make sure the audience is catching up.
Yeah.
But I think all over this talk has been really valuable. Like this episode, I'm pretty sure the listeners are taking away so many things from here, from your personal stories to your professional stories, your workflows, our conversation. I think it's really, really rich. So thank you so much, Gabriel, for joining me and helping people to work around AI and not to be afraid of it. And this is where I will sign off for the next episode.